Hello children, welcome to the online classes. In the previous session I have started kingdom Animalia. The animals under this kingdom are divided into mainly chordates and non-chordates, two phyla. Under the kingdom Animalia there are two phyla mainly, chordates and non-chordates. Chordates are the animals that have vertebral column or spinal cord and skeletal framework. But non-chordates, they do not have vertebral column or spinal cord or no skeletal framework. Under non-chordates again there are different classes. What are they? Porifera, Coelenterata, Platyhelminths, Nematyhelminths, Annelida, Arthropoda, Mollusca and Echinodermata. Isn't it? So these are the different classes under the phylum non-chordates. I have explained you already Poriferans. And about Coelenterata also you have learned. The next phylum is Platyhelminths. Platyhelminths are flatworms, I explained you. The next phylum is Nematoda. The next class, Nematoda. Under Nematoda I explained you they are triploblastic. Triploblastic means they have their body is covered by three layers. Outer ectoderm, middle mesoderm and inner endoderm. Three layers are there. The body is covered by three membranes. That is why they are called triploblastic. They are bilaterally symmetrical. They can be divided into two equal parts. Most of them live as parasites. Examples roundworms, or they are also called pinworms. Ascaris. Ascaris lumbricoides is the best example for this roundworm. And it shows sexual dimorphism. Sexual dimorphism means the male and female organisms are separate. Male Ascaris and female Ascaris. Male Ascaris a bit shorter than the female. Female is longer than male. The male is coiled at the end. That is the difference. By that we can understand this is the male Ascaris or female. Yes, that is about Nematoda. Phylum, class Nematoda. Next one is Platyhelminths over, Nematyhelminths over. The next one, the phylum, the class Annelida. Annelida. In Annelida, the organisms are bisexual. Both male and female reproductive organs are present in the same organism. Annelida. Example, earthworm. Leech you might have seen. Leech. The body is divided into number of segments, segmented. And annelids, they are triploblastic and bilaterally symmetrical. They respire through skin. The best example of Annelida, earthworm, leech. Yes, they have both male and female reproductive organs in the same organism. They are bisexual. Nematodes they exhibit sexual dimorphism. Male is different from female. Both are there. But in earthworm, both male and female reproductive organs are present in the same organism. So we can call it as bisexual. That is about Annelida. The next class is Arthropoda. Arthropoda. Children, already I said these words are taken from Greek language. In Greek, arthro means many, poda means foot. They have many foot. For example, if you might have seen in our house, house flies or mosquitoes, butterflies we see every day, spiders, they have many legs, isn't it? If you observe a spider, it has 8 legs. Yes? So 6 or 8. Some have 6 legs, some have 8 legs, like that difference is there. But many legs are there. That is why the name Arthropoda. This is the largest phylum in the animal kingdom. Largest class, Arthropoda. Many species are there under Arthropoda. Many species of insects are there. All the insects come under Arthropoda. They have wings to fly. They have 6 to 8 legs. And the next one is mollusca. Yes, arthropoda are the organisms that have many legs and they have wings to fly. Most of them are insects, almost all insects. All the insects come under this class, arthropoda. Yes, so their blood is white in color. They do not have hemoglobin in their blood. Blood is white in color. And mollusca, they are shelled animals. For example, snail. Snail. It has a shell into which the body will be taken when there is any danger. It takes its body, it closes itself inside the shell. Snail. Oysters. In the seas we can see. Mostly these are marine. They are aquatic. They live in water. The snail, they have blue color blood. Octopus, isn't it? Blue color blood they have, and their body has a shell. The shell has calcium in it. Mostly they are aquatic organisms. Understood? Next one, Echinodermata. In Greek language, echino means spiny, dermata means, derma means skin. Their skin is spiny. Example, starfish. Starfish, if you observe, the surface of the body will be rough with spines. That's why the name echinodermata. Echino means spiny, dermata means skin. Spiny skin they have, and they live in seas. They are marine. Their body is radially symmetrical. Bilaterally symmetrical means we can divide that organism into two equal parts at one radius only. But these starfish, we can divide it into two equal parts at any radius by cutting it in any direction. That is about echinodermata. So under non-chordates, how many classes are there? Almost 8 classes we have learnt. Porifera, Coelenterata, Platyhelminths, Nematohelminths, Annelida, Arthropoda, Mollusca and Echinodermata. All these organisms, they do not have a particular vertebral column or spinal cord. They do not have any skeletal framework in their body. Yes, the next one is chordates. Chordates are divided into five classes. Chordates are the animals which have chordata. Chordates are the animals which have vertebral column. Chordata. They have vertebral column. Under chordates, there are 5 classes. First one is Pisces. All the fish come under Pisces. They are aquatic. They have gills for respiration, isn't it? Pisces are, all the fishes come under this class and they live in water. They have fins to swim in the water and gills for respiration. They respire the dissolved oxygen in the water. Next one is amphibians. These amphibians, they live both in water and on land. When they are in water, they respire through gills. When they are in water, they respire through skin. When they are on the land, they respire through lungs. They have lungs for respiration. Amphibians have lungs for respiration. But as they live in both water and on land, when it is in water, it respires through skin. But when it is on land, it respires through lungs. And amphibians, example, salamanders, frogs, toads, Frog, you might have seen it goes to the water and also it jumps on the land, isn't it? Its skin is always moist. Small pores are present on the skin for the exchange of gases when it is in water. It has lungs, it lays eggs. Next one, reptiles. Reptiles are the animals that crawl on their belly. Reptiles crawl on their belly. Example, snake. They lay eggs. They have lungs. What are the respiratory organs of these reptiles? Lungs are the respiratory organs of reptiles. They have lungs for respiration and they crawl on their belly. Pottato paakutayi annamata. They crawl on their belly means pottato paakevi. Snakes, lizard, wall lizard, garden lizard. You might have seen, every day we see these, isn't it? So these organisms, they lay eggs. And next one is aves. Aves means birds. They are arboreal. Arboreal means they live on the trees. They fly in the air. Birds can fly in the air. To fly in the air, their body is light in weight. Isn't it? The body is light in weight. The bones are hollow. If the bones are not hollow, the body will be heavy. That is why the bones are hollow. So the body is light in weight. So they can fly easily. The forelimbs are modified into wings and the hind limbs are used for walking. It has 2 legs. Yes, birds have 2 legs and the first 4 limbs, F-O-R-E, 4 limbs are modified into wings. The whole body is covered by feathers. They lay eggs. The next one is the most advanced ones, mammals. Under this class, all the animals that give birth to young ones, they give birth to young ones and they feed them. The female feeds the young ones. And these mammals, they walk on 4 legs except human being. Human being walks on 2 legs, but most of the mammals walk on 4 legs. 4 limbs and hind limbs. 2 forelimbs, 2 hind limbs. But our forelimbs are used as hands. Hind limbs are used for walking. We stand erect with our backbone. Isn't it? This is about the chordates. Chordates are the animals that have particular vertebral column or skeletal framework. Under the phylum Chordata, there are 5 classes. What are they? Pisces, amphibians, reptiles, aves and mammals. Coming to Pisces, Pisces are the fishes. They swim in water. They have fins to swim. Their body is streamlined. It's in a spindle shape. Isn't it? The body is like a spindle. So, the body is covered by scales. The body is covered by scales all over. Small scales. Body is streamlined. It has a caudal fin, lateral fins and gills for respiration. Yes. They lay eggs. And amphibians, they live both in water and on land. That is why amphibian, the word amphibians. And they respire through skin when they are in water and respire through lungs when they are on land. And both male and female release sperms and eggs into the water, and in the water fertilization occurs and young ones develop. The young one of the frog is called tadpole. You know, in primary classes you have learned. Next one, reptiles. Reptiles, they crawl on their belly and they have lungs for respiration. They lay eggs, isn't it? They are oviparous. Oviparous means lay eggs. These eggs hatch into the young ones. Example, snakes, lizards and all. Aves. Aves are the birds that fly in the air. Their body is covered by feathers and the forelimbs are modified into wings and hind limbs are modified into hind limbs are used as legs to walk. Yes, these aves, they lay eggs. The eggs hatch and develop into young ones. Next one, mammals. Mammals are the animals that give birth to young ones and feed their young ones. They are mammals. So many are there. So many species are there under this class. Man, monkey, dog, cat, rat, bat. All these are mammals. They give birth to young ones directly. They have respiratory organs, lungs, and the heart is four-chambered. If you see Pisces in fish, the heart is two-chambered. But in amphibians, two chambers are there. The third chamber is incompletely divided. In reptiles, three chambers are there in the heart. In birds and mammals, four chambers are there in the heart. You have learnt already the four chambers of heart in mammals, upper two auricles and lower two ventricles. And coming to the brain also, the nervous system is well developed in mammals. Gradual development is there from Pisces to mammals. And respiratory organs also differ. They have gills, they have lungs, and all these have lungs, and amphibians have skin also. Like that, difference is there. Pisces, fish eggs, amphibians eggs, reptiles also reproduce through eggs. Aves also eggs. Mammals give birth to young ones. That's the difference. And in birds, the bones are hollow. Because of these hollow bones only, the body is light in weight. Why the body should be light in weight in birds? They have to fly. For flying, if the body is heavy, they cannot fly easily. That's why the bones are hollow. They have beak for capturing their food. Isn't it? These are the peculiar features of chordates. With this, the diversity in living organisms topic is completed. According to Whittaker, all the organisms on this earth are divided into 5 kingdoms: Monera, Protista, Fungi, Plantae and Animalia. Monerans, bacteria, archaebacteria and eubacteria. Protista, I explained you protozoans, about protozoans. Fungi, you have learnt. Plantae, different classifications under Plantae is over. Now today you have learnt about the kingdom Animalia and classification of animals under Animalia, isn't it? So with this, that topic is completed. In this topic only I explained binomial nomenclature introduced by Carolus Linnaeus. He is the father of taxonomy because he only introduced the naming of organisms. Each organism has 2 words. Each organism has its own scientific name. For example, human being, Homo sapien, isn't it? And housefly, Musca domestica. Neem tree, Agadricta indica. You need not learn all these names, don't worry. And Cajanus indicus, red gram. Naja, cobra. Panthera tigris, tiger. That is about the scientific names. First word indicates genus name and the second name indicates the species name. The first name is genus name and the second name is species name. For example, Homo sapien, Homo is the genus name, sapien is the species name. We all belong to the species sapiens. Species means the organisms that have similarities and also they can interbreed with each other. Male can interbreed with female and produce young ones. Then only they come into the same species. All the human beings belong to the same species sapien. All the tigers belong to the same species tigris. Yes, like that. Different species are there. Horse is one species. Dog is one species. Rose plant, it's a species. Different species are there. In that species only reproduction occurs. A dog cannot interbreed with a lion. A lion cannot interbreed with a tiger because they belong to different species and they may belong to the same genus but they belong to the different species. That is about species. And Charles Darwin, he is also a very famous biologist. He wrote Origin of Species, a book called Origin of Species. How these species how their origin took place on this earth and about the species, different species he mentioned in that book, Origin of Species, written by Charles Darwin. It's very famous book followed by all the biologists throughout the world. Okay, hope you understood, children. Have a nice day.